We're back for round number 9 in season 3 for the Spanish Grand Prix at the Circuit of Barcelona here at Catalunya for today's episode. And yeah, this one is Carlos Sainz's home race, which of course we're driving as him today. Also, fan rating very close to level 6. If you want to see how that happened, the previous episode will be linked in the top right. Spoiler warning ahead, so go check it out right now.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
So, last time out, we went to Monaco. Monaco returned to the calendar. We started the race from last place. That was the condition that I put on myself. Now, as a result, we are very close, a hairline away from level 6 fan rating, which would get us actually in quite decent prestige because we would be right between Formula A, Formula B. No team currently is level 6 fan rating. There's a gap there between level 7 and level 5. Also, other things to note, our relationship with Seren, our title sponsor, is still improving, and literally we're only 9 rounds into this new relationship and we've already nearly got to level 9. Like, we're going to max this out straight away before mid-season, which is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, really good progress, and as a result, because we're level 6 fan rating now, we're going to unlock a new sponsor slot on the car, and I've decided to put Seren on the side pod on the Cadillac kind of color design. Let me know what you think. Also, it's on the mirrors, which you can't really see too well from here, but it's mainly the one on the side pod. Now, we have a pending owner training point from 2 episodes ago, but I still can't put it on because we don't have a long enough timeline on the activities to do a 4-day activity. So we're going to have to keep that on the back burner even longer as we move into engineering, and we have received the chassis breakthrough level 4, which is really, really big. We're going to go ahead and do QV expansion for the aero as a new facility improvement to hopefully reduce delays on the aero department, and we're going to do the same thing for the chassis. Also reduces failures as well by 20%. We're doing that because we have the aero breakthrough level 4 on the way also, and once that arrives, we would have got the level 4 breakthrough on aero, chassis, powertrain and durability. Now let's talk about research and let's have a look on chassis. Now I went in, and even though we've unlocked level 4 breakthrough, there's not a single upgrade available. There's nothing unlocked. So I'm thinking on the aero it's going to be the same situation when we get the level 4 breakthrough on there. So actually all of this is completely pointless, and what we've already done for the powertrain and durability is going to be it. Those are going to be the last upgrades we're going to get, and that will officially max out our car with an asterisk. That is, we are still waiting on some supplier upgrades from Ferrari for the powertrain performance and reliability. Speaking of reliability, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the turbo. We're going to leave the gearbox on the back burner for now. We don't have enough development slots to do the gearbox, so we're going to have to wait until the turbo upgrades are complete. So let's move ahead and let's see if those upgrades arrive.
Great news. The development of a part is complete and it's now ready for fitting. Be sure to visit the Assign Upgrades screen when you have a moment.
Now, straight away, I can tell you we, of course, hit that level 6 team level at the top right. Also a bunch of activities and also parts coming in. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So powertrain, crankshaft onto the car. So that upgrade is pure performance for the ERS, and that is going to be on, which is great. We did not receive the turbo in time, and they actually both failed. So we're going to have to redevelop both of those. So it's possible for the next round, if all the upgrades arrive, we'll have a fully maxed out car, fully maxed out car for the first time in this series in terms of the upgrades that I can control. So that should be fun. Anyway, selecting Carlos Sainz this weekend, 95 rated, still 100 racecraft. We have a little bit of rain in qualifying, which might mix things up. That looks like it's going to arrive at the end of Q1. In terms of the championship, last time out as Pierre Gasly in what was almost his home race at Monaco next to France, we started last, of course, as I mentioned. We finished P3 on the podium, could have potentially got P2. We had a bit of a moment there in the race, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out, but it was a costly moment. And yeah, that was a decent result. We recovered from the Miami DNF to give Pierre a podium and some decent points to get him back in the fight for the World Drivers' Championship and also help us out in the Constructors. Now, we're going to jump into the practice programs, and actually, a bit like in recent episodes, the first lap of the race simulation it's very tough to beat. Also, it's my first lap of the day on the game, so, you know, I need a lap or two to kind of get into the rhythm and get the pace going. We go P1 straight away and, you know, get on pace, but it wasn't enough to get the time, and we get a red score on the first lap. We just managed to bleed into the green over the line on lap 2, and then eventually it got easier and we got it done.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
So with that out the way, tyre wear actually is excellent. Like for Spain, tyre wear hell in real life, that is really good tyre wear, below 0.9%. Also, fuel burn around 46 kg. You can see the lap times were a little bit inconsistent. Just trying a few things, you know, different lines, and then just trying to see how the car felt. We finish in P7, P8 simultaneously. Franco Colapinto, our former man from last season, top of the pile for the Renault Alpine team. And yeah, we do pick up our usual 225 R&D points, and we're going to keep it moving. So, job done, updates, practice finished. Let's get to qualifying and let's see what the pace is like, and let's see if the upgrades are going to work for us.
It's a Catalonian qualifying for you today. Welcome along to Spain, to Barcelona, and wherever you are in the world. Do you feel the need? The need for speed?
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Yeah, I'm here.
Now, here is the forecast. We have rain in 5 minutes. That little rain icon from earlier on in the video is there. So we are going to go on track pretty much straight away.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
However, to my surprise, it must be a phantom icon as we get some oversteer out of turn 10, because the rain's not arriving. There is no rain. There isn't going to be any rain. So we could have gone out a little bit later, but still, Piastri setting the pace, 1 minute 08.4. We're going to head over the line now, and we're going to do a very low-key 109.6, 1.2 seconds off, which had me a little bit mystified. Still, I went for another lap just to see if I could improve, and we are half a second up heading into turn 10 where we made the mistake last time, but we encounter a Bortoletto in the Audi, which unfortunately put an end to the lap. Now, I'm not going to go and burn another set of tyres. I'm going to hope that first lap is enough and we can move through. We are currently dropping down the table, P7 right now, but I think that lap should be good. And yeah, at the end of the session, we finished in P11. Still made it through pretty comfortably by about half a second. Gasly P2 and Piastri setting the pace with that time that we saw. And the field seems a bit more mixed up. The Alpines look pretty quick. Also, Astons as well seem to have improved a little bit and brought some upgrades this weekend. So we'll see exactly how that evolves throughout qualifying. In the meantime, into Q2, we have that 1 minute 09.6 as a Q1 reference time. We was up by half a second, which means minimum a 109.1 has to be the target time here. If you think we made a mistake out of turn 10, there was a bit more time to find, I would say we need to aim for the high 1 minute 08s in this one to kind of set a respectable, normal time that would be accurate to our pace. So yeah, currently we're doing that. Purple sector 1, getting straight down to business. I'm using way more battery on this one as well, because that previous lap wasn't really optimal in terms of battery deployment. It never is. We kind of get better as qualifying goes on with that sort of stuff. I also put my front wing up a little bit, I believe, just to kind of find a bit more in the corners. And yeah, we've got a car ahead here, but it's not going to get in the way or give us any dirty air. So we're going to get this lap on the board. So yeah, 109.6 was our Q1 time. Over the line we go in Q2, and it's a 108.3, and that was more than enough. I mean, that is a lot more like it. That's what I was hoping for in Q1. Just a very simple, fast lap, job done. And actually, Piastri and Antonelli are out. Colapinto and Ocon are in, confirming potentially some Aston Martin and Renault improvements, which is huge for them. Obviously, Honda now powering Aston Martin as they close this 1 minute 08 dead, a 0.0 as our opener in Q3. So we're going to try and see if we can one up it. To be fair, that lap in Q2 was really good, felt really consistent, and there wasn't much more in it. So it's going to take something special to get near those times. By the way, 1 minute 08 around Spain. That tells you how freaking fast these cars are now, and the upgrades, you know, how advanced we are into them. Anyway, the lap itself, through the 7-8 chicane, up towards turn 9, just briefly off the battery to keep the car stable, as there's a bit of a bump at the apex of turn 9. It's a flat out corner. Sector 2 is purple as we head into turn 10, avoid the red paint. Now open up turn 11. Important here to kind of turn in a bit later and focus on the exit. Use all the runoff curb as we plunge downhill. Flat out through 12 and now into 13 to close out the lap. Battery on the entire time. Full commitment to the line, and it's going to be a 108.1 for P3, just behind Leclerc and Verstappen. So a very, very close top 3. Literally a 10th between us. We all own a purple sector each. So yeah, it's going to be Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz for pole. Gasly a bit off the pace considering his Q2 time, where he finished right up there with us in P3. So that's a bit of a surprise. Hopefully though he can find his time in this final run. For us though, we're going to try and go for pole on home turf for Carlos Sainz. Let's go. Well, there we go. P3, not bad. We do improve. There was a little bit more in it. As you saw, a lot of kind of small errors, hiccups in the lap. We go equal with Verstappen, exact same time. But I do not believe Leclerc's time was beatable. He was way too quick today. And yeah, we couldn't really lay a glove on him. Also, worth noting, others did find some time. Russell, Norris as well, Albon to be fair, all in the mix. Then there's a bit of a gap to Tsunoda. Gasly did not really improve and he went quicker in Q2. Not that it would have changed much, maybe P7 for him, but still not an ideal session from Pierre. But for us, we've got a genuine shot to win the Spanish Grand Prix.
Welcome along everyone to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Lando Norris and Albon, Tsunoda, Gasly, Ocon and Franco Colapinto, Piastri, Doohan, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Behrman, Hadjar, Stroll, Jack Crawford and Liam Lawson, Hauger, Bortoletto, Aaron and Pepe Marti rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And joining me in the commentary box this afternoon, the First Lady of World Motorsports, Naomi Schiff. Now, Ant, you always tell me you know Barcelona almost as well as you know the back of your hand. Given the amount of testing that goes on here and the amount of laps that you and all the other drivers have done, What are the challenges that are left when it comes to the race?
Well, this certainly is a favorite track when it comes to testing. And I'll tell you why that is. It's because it offers up so much variation. You've got corners that are fast, that are slow, that are long, that are short. So there's a lot to think about and a lot to work with. But T9 is one of my personal favorites because it is so challenging. Every time you get there, you think, should I lift or should I stay flat? Well, I tell you, stay flat. Commit.
It's game time here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz begins on the third row. This weekend, Leclerc has been extremely fast. Verstappen with the exact same qualifying time. It's going to be really competitive. Also, Russell just alongside in P4. I'm expecting big things, better things from Pierre Gasly in the other car. He showed in Q2 he has some pace. I'm hoping he can deliver. But for this one, the target is the win. We have to win. A win would be massive, especially for Carlos on home turf. So let's talk about strategy. Now, we've run the simulations. We have a personalized strat, default and alternate. It seems like the hard tyre isn't going to happen. Now, my concern here would be tyre temperatures. I feel like we're going to overheat. So my plan is to start on mediums. I will choose my second tyre depending on how the stint's going. If we're really suffering on tyre temperatures, we'll go for the hards and box early. If we can make it, and I think the temperatures are manageable, we'll go for the softs at the end and do a reverse strap to see if we can try and hopefully get something later on in this race. So, yeah, I'm feeling optimistic this might be the right call and the best call. Now, for the fuel, we're going to put this down. It's about 46 kilos based off the race simulations. So, yeah, we're ready to go. We're locked in. No rain forecast, so let's get straight to it and let's see if El Matador can get the job done here in Spain. Now, interestingly, we do have a tyre split. The two fastest guys here, Verstappen and Leclerc, opting for the soft compound tyres. Sainz, Russell on mediums, and then Norris also on the softs in the McLaren. So we're going to have some split strategies, which should make things quite spicy. Either way, let's get to it, and let's see how the race start goes. Right, it's showtime. Vamos. Lights on. And we're off. I know my rear tyres are a little bit cold. Figuring that might hinder our start. Russell loses out at the start on those mediums. We actually do okay and manage. Verstappen, Leclerc side by side. We're going to try and set up the move here. We're going to go underneath. Oh boy, 3 wide. Yes, come on. Verstappen though around the outside. Bit of contact as we open up the line a bit too much. And Verstappen gets it done and moves through. That was almost an incredible double overtake in front of the home crowd for Carlos. That was spicy. Aggressive start though on the medium tyres and making them work. That's what you get when you get decent tyre temperature. Obviously the rears again weren't fully there, but the fronts were, which enabled us to have the grip to attack and try the moves. Oh my god, the dirty air through there was horrific. Had to wait so long to get the front end to turn and get the power down. Now we're going to see what the straight line speed looks like. I'm keen to see exactly how we hold up. Verstappen stretching away in the end of the lap here as he opens the gap.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Right, straight line speed looks healthy. Leclerc's closing, but it's not enough, so we should be good to manage. We'll just see now if Verstappen runs away with it or not. If I feel like he's running away, letting Leclerc go may not be the worst thing in the world, just to make sure he has something to worry about and they can maybe lose time battling. So Verstappen does have an easy run to the finish. It's going to take a few laps for the medium to overtake the soft in terms of pure performance, so wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We're not going to have DRS on the back straight. Right, Verstappen, 1 minute 10.7. We are in the 1:11.4s. I'm inclined to let Leclerc go here without letting Norris go, preferably. The McLarens haven't been as quick this weekend as we saw Antonio get knocked out in Q2. We'll see if we can try and hang with Charles for now and sit in his DRS. I can keep up with Leclerc easily without any big dramas. Norris is closing in here, but we'll make sure he runs out of straight, which he does. Verstappen, though, looks incredibly fast today. incredibly fast. He just keeps driving off. The pace is insane. Right, I think we're going to go through on Leclerc here. I'm going to try and get back in front and see if I can run the pace a little bit. Ferrari's pretty fast on the straight, but we'll move up. Back into second. At the minute, we've got no answer to Max. We'll see what we can do now on this lap. We'll see if the medium now is starting to work a little bit better. If not, we'll try and drop Leclerc. That's going to be the first objective, the first target. Right, we've managed to drop Leclerc out of DRS range. So he can now deal with Norris and Russell. I expect to go purple. No, not even that. Not even with a massive DRS slipstream over the line. Even that wasn't enough to match Verstappen's time. So that speaks volumes about his pace right now. So we're just going to do our own race really and manage Norris up to third, overtaking Leclerc. We'll just see if we can try and gradually work this gap down. Surely those softs will start to fade on Verstappen's car. Verstappen just isn't dropping his pace. Gap's 6 seconds now. It's ridiculous how fast he is. A little bit wide there, little mistake. All good. Not concerned about track limits at this particular racetrack. So we should be fine. Shouldn't be getting any more if it all goes to plan. They're really battling behind now. Russell's getting involved on that medium tyre. I've noticed we don't have a fresh soft, which is a bit of an issue for the strategy that we had in mind. So I'm currently just evaluating my options because we may have to pivot. I believe we don't have any fresh, inverted commas, used soft because I put a run on every single compound. So I believe that would be my Q2 tyre, potentially. Maybe my first Q3 run. Either way, it's not fresh. So I think a pivot may be in order here on strategy anyways. At the minute, George is dragging Norris and Leclerc with him, which is exactly what I don't want. So hopefully he manages to drop them soon, because this is really hurting our strategy potentially. Oh, hello. Stroll out, this is critical. Pit window territory. Will there be a safety car though? Oh. Looks like we're not getting one, so everyone will likely stay out for a bit longer. I'd say we're now finally matching Verstappen's pace, but it's taken 13 laps. They're losing a lot of time now. Russell and Norris and Leclerc battling. We're finally getting a decent gap. I'm leaning towards going for that soft tyre, the U soft, but I want to just extend my stint a little bit just to make sure we don't have any issues. So the more of a cushion we build, because we're going to get undercut a little bit, the better. Right, Verstappen pits. So he's in for his one and only stop onto a set of mediums. He's going to win this, barring absolute disaster. He's got so much pace. We're just going to do our own race here. Norris and Leclerc also pit, so Russell stays out. Let's see what our pace is relative to George. That's going to be now an interesting comparison. Okay, Russell pits already. Sonoda also. So I think maybe our strategy has the fact we have a used soft tyre programmed into the tyre duration, so we won't need to extend. You can see the tyre wear icon has already come up in the bottom right, so we are marginal for tyres. Russell pits for hards, interestingly, so we're going to stick to our strategy guns here and not change, and trust the used soft is going to be the right choice. These tyres haven't overheated, so the softs likely will, but hopefully not straight away. Verstappen 110.6. Straight onto the pace. One thing to note, Russell has rejoined in between Norris and Leclerc. Leclerc lost a lot of time in the pit phase, it seems. So Norris is now running solo in what would be net P3, potentially net P2. So we're going to be battling Norris for the podium today, for P2 in this race. We've got some lap traffic here in the form of Marty. We'll see if hopefully he gets out the way. Potentially, with a little bit of DRS would be nice, which I think we're not quite going to get. I think we just passed him before the line. Yes, we did. That's a shame. We should be in next lap. This may be risky, but I'm going to go one more.
Pit now, pit now.
I just want to have a little bit more safety on that soft tyre later on. I'll take a little bit of pain now on the tyre wear front. The pace is still consistent. We're in the 1 minute 12 still, as we have been for the last 10 laps or so. So we'll just go one more for safety. Right, we're going to race straight into the pit lane here. I'm going to push and try and be aggressive. Pit entry critical. I think we've got a warning for track limits there. Either way, we'll take that risk. So that's 2 warnings, so we can't get any more. Tyres right on the limit. In puncture range, actually. 75 is puncture limit. We're on 78. So we could have punctured there. We need a good stop now. If this is a bad stop, it's going to really hurt us. So this has to be on the money. It's slow. Front left, it's really slow. It's a horrible stop. It's a 5.1.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
And that's cost us. There is Leclerc and Russell. We would have been out ahead of those two. That cost us so dearly. Suddenly now Lando's looking pretty comfortable for a second place finish because we are going to have to work to get these two. We've got around 3 to 4% wear on average on these softs, so they're not terribly warm, but this could have been so much easier. The team had one job. Right, Leclerc 110.5. Overtaking Russell on that lap. We go purple in sector 3. Let's push. Let's try and get DRS on this lap. Really the best thing for us is that Leclerc gets away and drops Russell, because Russell's going to have DRS and that's going to make it quite difficult for me to overtake, and that's going to really kill our tyres.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Legit, like every lap that goes by, we're going to lose a lot of performance. I don't think Russell has DRS actually, funny enough. We do go purple, but we're too far back. I can't tell if Russell has DRS or not. I don't think he did, but he was super quick on the straight regardless. We know the Mercedes is very fast. Bit of lap traffic here, just going to get in the way. One of the Audis. Probably bought at Leto. Let's see if we get lucky. No, we don't. Of course, typical blue flag behaviour. Never let the player through, only the AI. Nothing we can do right now. We're just relying on Russell battling with Leclerc, which is exactly what we're going to get. This is the opportunity for us to swiftly move up. There's the gap. Driving straight into that gap and straight through. Loads of dirty air, but we're up. And now we try and get George ASAP and move on to Lando. Gap is 5 seconds though. That stop has really hurt us. I mean, all this time we're losing, which we could have been using these tyres to close in on Norris instead, is being wasted on these two. I think P3 is going to be the finishing position. You can see Russell there well out of shape. I'm just going to sit behind here and use this to charge as much as possible. And next lap we're just going to pull the pin and try to drop them both on the same lap. So let's just charge as much as possible. I want to use the least amount of battery I can on the pit straight to get the move done. And then just use everything everywhere else to try and open this up. Right, here we go. Little bit of battery. That should be enough. We can get this done now with DRS, hopefully. Here we go. Straight around the outside. Leave Russell to fend with Leclerc, who, to be fair, has moved up with him, and they're battling. So there we go. Instant drop. Perfect execution. And now we go Norris chasing for the final few laps. We'll see if the tyres hold up. Would love to get DRS off one of these two here. I think we're a bit far back. I'll try. I'll leave the battery on. Oh, yes, we got it. That's huge. We can hopefully pass them both here into the 1 minute 9s. Just going to keep the battery on. We clear one. We're going to clear the other. That's perfect. What a lap. A perfect lap of execution. I still think the gap's too big to land though, but we'll see what we could try and do. Left rear overheating. 115 degrees, so now we're going to have to just manage that for the rest of this race. We're not catching Lando anymore, so P3 is going to be the target objective. Leclerc's catching, and I don't have an answer. This tyre is dying quickly. He's actually also dropped Russell, sorry. So, blue flag, Paul Aaron. Come on, mate. Let's get out of the way, please. Leclerc's catching. He's quick. This tyre is dying in real time. Falling away. Leclerc's also dropped Russell, so I think we're going to be fighting Leclerc for this final podium spot. Right, Charles here. Russell doesn't have any pace, so it's going to be us taking on Leclerc. We'll see if I can keep up. We're also really tight on fuel. Fuel has been an issue. We've burnt through it quicker than expected, so This final part of the race is going to be in map management, really. I think Leclerc's going to be too quick. I just think this tyre's gone. It's hit the cliff. We can't keep this tyre in the way that AI do. That's why we favour the harder compounds, but the hard is pretty bad around here. The math isn't adding up here. I'm trying to save fuel, save battery, yet trying to push to stay within DRS. It's really, really complex. I'm trying to get close. I want to see if I can do a last lap attack on Leclerc, but tyres are really giving out whenever I try to get close. The overheating left rear just kills me on traction. And there we go, we're now under the fuel target. So I think we're just trying to finish this race, to be honest. Unfortunately, soft tyre wasn't the one. I think if we had a fresh one and we hadn't had a slow stop, then the strategy would have been bang on, but that was not the case. Well, here we go then. It's going to be it for the race. Verstappen's going to win. Norris will get second. Oh my god, understeer. Leclerc will get P3. And yeah, we're going to finish in a low-key P4. Unfortunately, just tricky to execute. And yeah, the team let us down on strategy, really. We needed that stop to go well and be ahead of Russell and Leclerc, and that ultimately cost us the race.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Well, we'll stop at the end.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
Well, that's 2 race wins in a row for them. I think they'll be really happy with that. I mean, 1 race win is great, but to have 2, you know that you've got it. You're a little bit more comfortable in your skin. This is a great sign of maybe what's to come next.
And it's time for that special moment for our special 3 today. The podium awaits our top 3 finishers. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number 1, Max Verstappen.
That is really frustrating. Like, genuinely, the bare minimum is, you know, finish where you start. That's it. We lost a place. Also, Pierre Gasly lost a place. Piastri, of course, recovering through the field. Man, that was I didn't enjoy that one bit. I knew it was going to happen. I normally go for the harder compounds, but I thought I'd try something different. You know, for Carlos, his home race, try and be a bit more aggressive. And it just didn't work. Maybe we could have started on the softs, but then we would have really struggled on mediums at the end. Either way, the pit stop was the key moment, and that cost us everything. So there's your final lot. The top 2 in the championship, or top 3 in the championship, are right there, as always, looking very strong. So speaking of which, if we look at the drivers, Verstappen leads by 9 points over Norris. They basically are just swapping every round. Leclerc 3rd, Piastri 4th. We do close in to Oscar a little bit with Carlos, which is a good thing. Gasly losing a little bit of ground, and Albon 4 points behind him, but still comfortably ahead of Tsunoda and Antonelli, and crucially, Russell, who's been very low-key this season, and quite a few DNFs already. But yeah, for us, we keep on moving. We're just lacking a little bit to make the difference, I feel like, with the car, and we've already maxed out our car. So this might be a season where consistency wins over a long season, and we can just get the best results possible as consistently as possible. That's the best we can hope for. And days like today, slip-ups like today, can prove to be extremely costly. So yeah, in the constructors, I'd say that's more or less accurate. Yeah, Ferrari, the way they've got 2 drivers who are bulletproof consistent. We are still comfortably ahead of Mercedes, to be fair, and only about 40 points, 39 points behind McLaren. So we keep moving and we go again to the next one, guys. I appreciate all of you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on the video. On screen now, you're going to have to fall out. A fan rating won't be as important anymore. I think it's going to take quite a while to get to level 7. Dare I say, if the season and the series were to end, we won't actually see rating 7 beyond this season. So, yeah, not critical at this point anymore. Anyway guys, cheers for watching, like, subscribe, as always a massive shout out to the members, check out the 2 videos on screen for more, and yeah guys, have a good one, and I'll see you soon, take care, and let's go back from me, ciao ciao.